Now this activity can be initiated by user when he's interacting with GUI, or this activity can be initiated by software itself. So it will be dependent on the situation. Okay, you will call it as activity or you will call it as action. Okay, like we took the example yesterday. In case of ATM, when you are what you can say swapping the card and giving the PIN number, you'll be getting multiple options. Multiple activities will be initiated, like withdraw activity, deposit activity, and so on. So whatever the requirement you have, on the basis of that, you will choose the respective activity, you will choose the respective event. Okay, and on the basis of that, the further process will be followed. On the other hand, let's say I'm choosing the withdraw activity. Okay, and in my account the balance is not sufficient. So in that case, definitely software will initiate the activity and he is going to give you the notification like the balance is low, insufficient balance. So this is again a kind of activity, or maybe let's say I'm doing the registration in some website. Okay, and at the time of registration, one of the field value is entered wrong. So in that case also there will be a activity created by the website, right? Like here, for example, in case of password, there are password policies created, you all are knowing, or maybe when you are thinking about usernames, nowadays usernames are also taken already. So again, if you enter the wrong username, or if you enter the username which is already taken, then in that case also the activity will be initiated. So these things get handled with the help of events. Okay, so what is event? Event is the activity or the action, you may call it. Mic off कर दो. Okay. So when I'm selecting the particular action, what actually I'm doing, I'm calling that action, I'm calling that activity. Okay, so there will be a event calling, or in technical terms, it is called as raising. Okay, so event will be raised, means event get called. Okay, and the moment that event will be called, somewhere in another scope, the respective what you can say action will be already defined. Like if you take the example of withdraw, when I will initiate the withdraw activity, what will happen? Withdraw method I'm going to call, and somewhere in the what you can say software, or somewhere in the class, somewhere a withdraw method is defined, and that withdraw method gets executed. Okay, so event get raised and event get handled. Okay, means in short, in our terms, method is going to be called and method is going to be executed. So what is the question here? The question of binding. Now up to this point, if you remembered, we used method, right? We are calling a method with the help of object, and we are seeing that this method call get executed properly, right? And who is doing this? So obviously execution engine is doing this, but now this binding will not be done by execution engine. Okay. So when event get called, this event will be handled. So event get called means what will happen? The method will be called. And event get handled means what? In accordance to that method, some method will be executing. Okay. And this binding will be done by delegate now. So the question will be raised, why delegate comes into the picture? Because up to this point, when I call the function, automatically execution engine will choose the respective definition and the function get executed, right? Like let's say, let's take any example which we followed till this point. So let's close some of the things like Teams. Okay. So now if you take any example, like here, if I open demo 20, like yesterday's demo, related to delegate or any simple demo, if you open it, which we've done already related to what you can say, simple demonstration, or maybe I will create one that will be better for me. Like here, give the name as simple demo. Okay. So what I will do is I will prepare one class. Let's say class ABC. In that, I will define one method. For example, public void some method. Okay. And we'll write here in some method. Okay. Now, what I will do, I want to call this method. So I will prepare the object of this class ABC. And then we'll start calling this method by saying ABC dot some method. Okay. Now, how the flow will be there here? Some method get called and some method get executed. So this process of attaching call with a definition is called binding. And who is doing this binding till this point? Till this point, this binding is done by execution engine itself, right? Like here, if I try to execute this, I will be getting the answers in some method, right? So firstly, the call will come here. You can watch out. Okay, and then directly it jumps to this particular definition. Now, already we saw this is called binding. Okay, and now what I'm saying here, in case of event, okay. Now what I'm saying here, in case of event also, call. Okay, the question will be raised. Delegate is going to do this. So this can be done with the help of delegate. Always delegate is going to uh, acting as a binder in between these two. So my question is very simple. If method get called and if method get executed, why we require a delegate? Because this example execution engine itself is going to handle this, right? So method get called, executed, and this binding get handled by execution engine itself. So why I'm requiring delegate here? What is the need? Remember, this method call and this method execution both are in different scopes. Number one. Now you also in different scope, right? Like in class ABC it is defined, and from class program we are calling. Okay. The another thing you will be considering is, first, it is in different scope, and second, the implement separately. What does it mean? Particular method, this called method is not at all knowing which method will be executing. Okay. Or in other words, when somebody is calling a method as an event, the name of the method which we are going to give here at the time of calling will not be matching with the method which is defined. Okay. Now you all are knowing right from if you see the basic, like this binding is done on the basis of names method, and we saw that the control is jumped to some method because the names are same. Okay. But here, if you think about this, whenever we will call the method, this called method in other scope synchronously, compulsorily. Number one, or in other words, the name given at the time of calling the method and the name at the time of execution are different. Okay, so definitely if names are different, I don't think so your execution engine is capable of doing this binding, and that's why delegate comes into the picture. This is what the what you can say basic description I am giving you. Okay, so when I'm calling the method class, definitely related to that class only, and when I'm executing some method in what you can say uh, in accordance method, then definitely this executing method is not at all knowing about, and calling method is not knowing about executing method. They are placed in different scopes and their names are also different. So definitely delegate is responsible to do this. That's why delegate is acting as, okay. So we'll see now how this will be handled. Now definitely there are two things here. The event handled. Okay. So the class who is calling the event, okay, and the class who is actually going to subscribe to this call is called subscriber class. Now, as an example, you would again take the ATM example, like the moment I will withdraw the money, auto mobile, because I took the subscription there, right? The moment I will withdraw the money, within 2 to 3 minutes, I will be getting the message on my mobile. Okay, quite similar to this. What publisher class will do, publisher class will initiate the activity, will call the event, will raise the event. and subscriber class will be executing a code in response to that call. Will handle this event. Okay, so you may take any to demonstrate this, like how delegate is acting as a binder in between these two. Okay, now there are a number of examples available in the market nowadays, but still, let's take some example which is not related. Different example we'll be taking. Like here, I got is, let's say, video related information. So there is a video available with me, and what I want to do is I want to encode that video. So I got a video encoder. What is the role of video encoder? It will encode the done. Okay, the moment encoding is done, like video encoding is successful. This is what the situation. Now, in some cases, like after video get encoded, the mail will be sent to the respective what you can say person whose video get encoded. Okay, so I got a video encoder tool and I got some videos to do the encoding. And after encoding get done, immediately as a notification, the mail will be sent to a customer. Okay, so as a subscriber, okay, so what is the role of video encoder? Video will encode the video. Okay, the moment encoding will be done, the mail will be sent to the respective person whose video you are encoding. Like this video is already encoded successfully and it is sent to you on email. Okay, now for some of the customers, now this is already implemented, let's say. Okay, now for some of the customers, let's say I want to send text message as well. So I need to hire one more subscriber, which is a SMS service. So the moment this video get encoded, okay, then firstly the mail will be sent, like video is encoded successfully, and that text message will also be sent. Now this is dependent on the customer, let's say. Okay, so if customer is from gold category, then he will receive only mail. And if customer is from platinum category, then he will be receiving both mail and SMS. This is what the criteria. So if I'm considering this, I don't think so any changes I need to do in video encoding class. What video encoding class will do, it will encode the video and accordingly the respective the respective event will be raised. Okay, and when that event will be raised, this service, the subscribed service, will write some method where the information will be given like video is encoded. Okay, and this is what the criteria. Okay, so we got one publisher, video encoder. We got two subscribers, in fact, mail service and SMS service. Okay, and these two are the subscriber classes. So in publisher class, event will be raised, and in subscriber class, it will be handled. And who is going to do the binding between these two? Delegated. This is what the scenario. Now, if you are working with GUI for any .NET technology, definitely you will be understanding there how delegates are helpful in case of binding. But right now we don't have any exposure of what you can say GUI. That's why we need to do this what you can say by taking these kind of examples. Okay, so we have a class called video encoder. We have a class called mail service. Video encoder class will raise the event, and mail service class will handle that event or execute that event. And to do this binding, we will hire a delegate. Let's watch how. If you see this, what is event? It is a mechanism for communication between two objects. Okay, like here, there will be a communication between video encoder object and mail service object. And for which the communication will be there? For handling the event. And who is responsible to do this communication? Delegate. So this communication will be done with the help of delegates. As I said, in other words, delegates are acting as a bridge or agreement between these two objects. Or you will call it as binder between these two objects. Okay. What is the application for this? To create loosely coupled applications. Right? Like initially, let's say I am sending only mail to the customer. Now, on the basis of subscription, I want to send SMS also. So is there any need to change video encoding, video encoder class? No. You will take another subscriber class SMS service, and accordingly, the subscription will be handled. Okay. Now let's say after some time, I decided not to send the text message to the customer. So what I can do is I can directly remove SMS service from this hierarchy. And this is totally possible. Why so? Because it is loosely coupled. Okay. So this is the application. So delegate determines the event handler method signature in a subscriber. Okay. So why delegate is responsible to do this? Because of this. So we'll see how actually delegate is going to handle this. Okay. So let's start creating the demo and start explaining it. Okay. So I will be taking new project. Let's name it as demo 21. Demo 21. Okay. So first, let's create the publisher class. Before that, we require video. So let's take a video class first up, which is a prerequisite. Now, in video, I don't think so. I'm going to go in detail and show you each and everything, because this is not possible in console application, but still we'll take a name of video here. Okay, so I will be taking one property, auto implemented property. Let's give a name to the video. This is sufficient for me. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a publisher class. So we got a publisher class here, video encoder, which will encode the video. Okay. Now this video encoder first will decide the type of customer. I guess we'll implement that later. First, what we'll do, we'll simply implement the mail service, and then we'll go for SMS service. Okay. So right now my target is to show you video encoder publisher and mail service as a subscriber. Okay, so let's write a method like public void encode video. Okay, and this will take video. Okay, so maybe we'll write some code inside it. I don't have a code to show you, so let's give some messages out here like video encoding off. Okay, video encoding off. Video dot name started. Okay, now we all are knowing this will take time. So what we need to do now, we need to give some what you can say delay. Now to give the delay, there are a number of ways. The basic way of giving the delay is to use multi-threading. Okay, like here I will use system. You'll see this ahead. System.threading. Let's give some delay out here. Okay, so thread dot slip for some milliseconds. Like here I will give 4 milliseconds. And after that, we'll give the message video encoding is finished for video, or let's give the name directly, video dot name. That's it. Okay, so what this video encoder class will do, it will encode the video. Simple. Now let's go to program.cs and just check this out whether it is working or not. So let's prepare video encoder class object. So video encoder reference equals to new video encoder, and we'll start calling this method. So video encoder reference dot encode video. Okay, this will take parameter. So we should have a video initialized. So what we'll say, video new video. Let's initialize name. So right now I don't have any name to give, so I will simply write video 1. Okay, and let's pass this to encode video. So I will say here video. Okay, so let's run it. Video encoding of video 1 started. It will take 4 seconds, and then after 4 seconds, video encoding is finished for video 1. Fair enough. Now, the moment this encoding is done, what I need to do is I need to send a email. I need to send an email to the customer. Okay. So let's start handle the event for this. Now, if you are considering the event, you need to follow certain steps. What are the steps we'll be following? Like first step would be, we will create a delegate, which is acting as a event handler. Okay. Then we'll be taking here event. Then we'll be raising the event, raise or call the event. And these three activities will be doing in where? In publisher class. Okay, so publisher class will handle these three activities. These three activities will be initiated by publisher class. Okay, and then we have a subscriber class available. Okay, and in subscriber class we are going to handle the remaining activities. So what is the role of subscriber class here? The role of subscriber class is to provide event handler method. That's it. Subscriber class will be providing event handler method. So the moment event will be called here in publisher class, it will be handled by subscriber class. And who is responsible for this? Is delegate. We'll see how. Okay. So this activity will be handled by publisher class and subscriber class. These are the activities we need to follow firstly. And then actually in our main method, we will be combining these two. Like delegate, we'll be telling delegate whenever this event will be raised, please handle this with the help of this handler. Okay, means we are adding handler with call via delegate. So how we are going to do that, we'll see ahead. So let's go ahead and start creating delegate for this. Okay. So right now we are at very basic level. So I'm not going to pass any arguments to events. But in reality, do remember, we can pass the arguments to the events. And what is the purpose of passing arguments to the events? Those arguments are passed to send some extra information. So with the help of these arguments, we'll be getting the extra information. So whenever we'll see GUI, there I will prove this, like I'm getting the extra information through this argument in case of handler. Okay, so we'll see that ahead. Right now, we are at basic level, so we are not going to send any argument. So delegate void, let's give the name. Now delegates are always acting as a event handler. So whenever we will name the delegate, make sure you will end the name with a handler word. Okay, like here I will write video encoder handler. First step. And what is this step? Create delegate. Okay, next. Now, as I told you, the moment encoding gets finished, we will be sending the email. We'll be sending the email to the respective customer whose video we are encoding. Okay, and to do this, we require an event. So inside the class, let's start creating the event. Now, when you are creating the event, do remember this event is totally dependent on delegate. Thinking about event without delegate is not possible. Okay, so what is the syntax of creating the event? Now, definitely event is a method which will be called. As I already mentioned, it will be a method. So which access specifier you'll be using? Public. Now, since it is an event, you need to first mention that it is an event. And to mention, you will be using a keyword event. Okay, so public event. Then who is going to handle this event? This delegate. So let's use that delegate here. And after that, we will give the name of the event. Okay, the name is, let's say, video encoded. Sorry, brackets will not come here. Okay, so yes, this is event. So we created the event. See the syntax once again. First, event is a method, so you will write public compulsorily. Then, since it is an event, you need to use event keyword. Then you need to mention the delegate name who is going to acting as a bridge or the binder for this method when it gets attached with a handler, and some unique name you will be giving. So video encoded is the name I'm giving. Okay. Now, if you check this out, it is showing me the icon of event. So if I hover the mouse on this, it will show me the event icon. This is used in Visual Studio. Okay. Now, what is third step? This event will be raised. This event will be called. Okay. When this will be called? The moment encoding gets finished. Means somewhere here I'm going to call it. So we encoded. That's it. So this is step number 3, and it is event raised or called. Okay, do remember these steps are helpful when you are creating the custom event. Now, in most of the cases, people are using the built-in events only, but still there are certain situations available where you will require to create your own event. In that case, these steps are important. Like in ASP.NET, when you are creating your custom event, at that time people won't be able to recall these steps. So do remember, these steps are very important if you are creating your own event for a certain control, right? Like if you think about any control, for example, if I'm thinking about button, for button, if you see the list, there are n number of events available. Okay, but let's say there is a situation comes where all these events are not useful for me. So what I will do, I will create my own event. So in that case, these kind of steps are very helpful. Do remember. And we will be learning this ahead, like how to create a custom event. Okay. So in publisher class, now my publisher class is video encoder. In publisher class, we followed 3 steps. What are those? First, we created the delegate who is acting as a handler. Then we created the event which will be raised when certain activity gets or initiated. So here the activity is the moment encoding gets finished for the video, I want to send an email, and to send the email, this event is used. Okay, now let's go ahead and start creating subscriber. So I will take a subscriber class here, which is mail service. Okay, now what is the role of mail service right now? As I told you, the role is to give the handler. So let's write a handler method here, like public void on video encoded, something like this. Okay, and here we'll be giving the message like now you can check this out, like we can send arguments. I told you already, but right now I'm not taking any arguments over here. So when you write the handler, make sure your return type and signature is matching with the delegate. So if you see our subscriber, the return type is void and signature is not taking any parameters. The same is matching here. Okay, this you need to take care. So here I will simply say video encoding is finished. That's it. Simple message. Video encoding is finished. Okay. This kind of a mail will be getting as a customer. Okay. Let's bind these two with the help of delegated. So what actually, which method we are going to consider? See, video encoded call will be binded with on video encoded method. Okay, or in other words, when video encoded get called, which method will be executing? This on video encoded method will be executing, and this binding will be done by whom? This delegate. Okay, let's go ahead and see this then. So what I need to do here, I need to consider the step where I'm going to tell the execution engine, like when video encoded gets called, please execute on video encoded, and these two will be binded with the help of who? Delegate. How it will be done? So already we have a reference present for this video encoder class here. We require a reference for mail service as well. Okay, or let's do it new. That will be better for us. Okay. Firstly, to access this method, we require a video encoders object. And to access this particular method, we require mail service class object. So let's prepare the object for both. So video encoder is initialized like this. Video encoder doesn't have any arguments. Sorry, this has to be done separate. Okay, so let's do it. So video okay, fair enough. Now let's prepare the reference of mail service. Okay, so we are going to bind this call with this definition, and who is going to help us? Delegate. So how will do this? Watch. So first I'll be using video encoder reference, which is video encoder dot encode a video. When it gets called, you will be getting the message in the form of this event, like video encoded. Here you can see in the list, this is the event. Okay, plus equal to, I'm going to add this call with this definition. And how? With the help of delegate. So new video encoder in bracket. You can see the target now. Okay, So let's assign the target. So what you will do, mail service dot on video encoded. See, this is how this is initialized. So what I want the communication between these two objects, the video encoder and mail service. And who is doing this? Delegate. Now for understanding purpose, I took the syntax like this. In reality, Visual Studio itself will do this for you. Like video encoder dot video encoded plus equal to 2 times tab. You can watch out. So now what Visual Studio has done, Visual Studio has added his own handler and he is adding it in same class, which I don't want. Okay. Actually, what I'm requiring here, I'm requiring this handler, which is for mail service. Okay. So I don't want this. But still, I can follow this. Like here, I will be adding my own handler by saying mail service dot on video encoded like this. Now, if you remembered, in case of basics of delegate also, I covered these two steps. If you remember, in case of unicast and multicast delegate. Okay, so either you will follow like this or you will follow like this. It's up to you. Okay, and then we'll start calling this method. Which one? This one. Encode video. So let's call it. So what I will be doing, video encoder dot encode video, and what it will be taking video. So let's pass on the video. That's it. Okay. So let's see whether I'm getting this message or not. Let's build this. Run. See, video encoding for video started. Video encoding is finished for the video, and video encoding is finished. The message, the SMS or the mail. Okay. Maybe you will give some different message out here, like video is successfully encoded, something like this. Please find video attached. In fact, encoded video attached. Something like this. Okay. So if you run this, now you'll be getting a proper message. See. Okay. Now let's watch out how actually this is happening. So I will put a breakpoint for both video encoded and video encoded here. Sorry, here. And let's start debugging it. So you can watch out, video encoding of video has started. So where the control has come, here. The method is called. Now if you see this carefully, where this method is attached, you can watch out. It is attached with on video encoded. And on video encoded is present where? It is present in mail service class. You can watch out. Okay. So this is already defined. By whom? By this delegate, which we created already. Okay. So if I continue this, see, it is going in on video encoded. And this is how the binding will be done by delegate. Is it okay? Yes. So this will be the step which I written here, like provide event handler method. So this is the method which I provided. Okay, so you may write here like event handler. Okay, and this you will call it as add event with handler. And who is responsible for this? Delegate. Okay, so this is how you will take a mail service, and accordingly the respective handler will be provided. Okay, now same you can do for SMS service as well. So what you need to do, you'll be creating a same class which is nothing but a SMS service, and on the basis of type of customer, the respective service will be enabled, right? Like here I will be checking the condition, what type of customer he is. So if the customer is of type gold, then we will simply what you can say, subscribe to mail service. And if it is from diamond or platinum category, then in that case he will be receiving the text message as well. Okay, so better way, instead of handling it here, because we don't require any changes in video encoder. Okay, so where you are going to handle this? Here. Okay, so you will be checking the type of customer, and accordingly you will be adding it. Okay, so this is how it will be done. So you may try for this from your side, like you will be taking one SMS service, and in SMS service you will be providing a handler, and over here you will be writing one more line like SMS service dot on video encoded. So you will be getting a text message on mobile. Okay, and you will be checking what type of customer it is. So on the basis of type of customer, you will give the respective services. So if it is from gold, you will just give the mail service to him. If he is from platinum category, then in that case, you will give both video encoding, email as well as SMS service. Okay, so you may try for this, I guess. So this is all about event handling. So there is a publisher class, there is a subscriber class. Publisher class will create the event and will raise the event. Subscriber class will actually going to handle that event. Okay, so in other words, publisher class will raise the event, subscriber class will provide the event handler method to handle that called event, like we done. So this is all about events. See, we are going to see these events in detail ahead. Right now, it is one of the application of delegates. So I covered with this example. I don't have to show anything. That's why I used console.writeline kind of statements. But still, when we go ahead, in case of GUI, there we will be understanding the event more easily. Okay, like just for the example, we will open that. Like let's take a WinForm application. Say okay. Currently we don't know anything, so I will be getting this GUI, and on this GUI, I will start what you can say, designing my entire UI. So if I run this, I will be getting GUI. See, like this. Okay. Now, if you think about the controls, like in toolbox, you'll be getting some of the controls like buttons. So if you place the button here, and if I simply do double click, the by default event for the button will be created. which is a click event. So if I double click, you can watch out, this is a handler. And what is the name of handler? Button1 underscore click. This is the handler. Now, what is the actual name of the event? You can watch this out in the properties. So if you go to event, see here, the actual name of the event is click. And to handle this click event, there is a handler assigned called button1 underscore click. So where this step is present, which we saw already, like delegate is going to do that. So you can see that in designer. So if you check this out, see here, you can watch out. Okay, so for button1 control, which event will be called? Click. And when this event will be called, then I will click the button. Okay, and when this click event gets raised, it will be handled with the help of this handler, which is button1 underscore click. So you can watch out here, it is there already, button1 underscore click. And when this handler will be executing in response to the click of button. And you can watch out who joined these two event handlers. So what is event handler? If you go to definition, here you can watch out, it's a delegate. Okay, and like I told you, the signature of delegate and the return type of delegate is matching with the handler. You can watch out. See here, for this delegate, the return type is void, and if you see the signature, it is taking two arguments like object sender and event args e, and here you can see the same thing. Like for this handler, the return type is void, and it is taking two arguments of same type. Okay, so this is how this event handling is followed in case of GUIs. Like if you take ASP.NET, in that also it gets followed. If you take WPF, in that also the same concept gets followed. So delegates are always acting as the event handlers. So which event this delegate is handling right now? This event, click. Okay, so you may do some activity inside this, like I will give some message box, like message box dot show some message like button is clicked. Okay, so if I run this, I'll be getting GUI. If I click the button, see, button is clicked. I'm getting a message box. Okay, so the moment I will click the button, what will happen? This click event will be called. The moment I will click the button, click event will be called, and this click event will be attached with this handler, which is already present. So the code written in handler get executing. Okay. So what is the difference between the example which we saw and the example present over here? You can watch out. Everything is done by Visual Studio. So what I need to do is I need to just go inside a handler and write the code. So it is not required for me to create an event. It is not required for me to call that event. It is not required for me to add that event in the handler. It is not required for me to create the skeleton for the handler. So what Microsoft has done, they just given only coding facility. Everything will be done automatically. But right now, whatever the example we saw, there we are doing it manually. That's why I written those steps, like first create delegate, then create event, then call the event. After that, maybe provide the handler, then add event with handler using delegate. Okay, so all these steps which we followed are already done here by the framework itself. what I need to do, I need to just select a respective handler and write the code inside it. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. So let's move ahead now. So delegate determines the event handler method signature in subscriber. That's why we are matching the handler return type and handler signature with delegate. Okay. So this is all about events. I guess we covered callback yesterday only. So this is all about this topic, delegates and events. Okay. Hope so you understood everything. Let's move ahead and start with the next topic. So is it okay? Are you getting guys? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll take a 5 minutes of break, and after break we'll be continuing with the same. Okay.
Okay.
I will do the call again.